Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock and it is Let's Talk. And I am Kath Lloyd from Make the Change. So this is actually already the 17th session in the second series of Let's Talks. And we've been looking at how to manage our feelings better, how to manage change better. And, what I want to discuss tonight is about our time. And the title of tonight's Let's Talk is, But I Just Don't Have Enough Time. And, I'm sure we've all said it. I've said it, I know I have. But why do we say it? Okay, now, quite often we say it when we subconsciously, we know that something has got to change in our lives, that something needs to be different. We often say it when we are frightened of the change, when we're feeling under pressure to make changes, but also we often say it when we don't know what to do about it. Okay, and again, when we have to make change in our lives, we often say it because we think it's going to take a lot of time. And at first it will take a lot of time, but actually, as you gradually get into your new regime, it will appear to become a lot easier, but that is just you getting used to it. Okay, so where are you using your time? That's the key question, because it's rather like if you go and see a dietitian about wanting to lose weight, or for some people, they might actually be struggling to put weight on, but the majority of the time it's about people wanting to lose weight. And I know people who've had to write food diaries because it's very, very easy to forget that yes, I had a biscuit at 11's, but actually you had 3. And it's easy to forget those little incidents where you had perhaps more to eat than you thought you should have done, or than you remember. Okay, so getting back to time then. There's a lot of conversation at the moment about how much time, say, social media takes from us. That it saps our energy, it saps our thought processes. And, I've been listening to podcasts about, people who have been putting challenges up to actually, close your Facebook page for 2 weeks to see what happens. And some people have found it really invigorating, and it's given them different opportunities to do different things. But it all depends, just like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, whatever you use, it's about how you're using it, isn't it? How you're using it and what you're using it for. And I mean, for a lot of people, it is about keeping connected with other people. So a friend of mine, she is from a different country. So Facebook for her is about keeping up with her old friends in her other country. And to her, it feels like that, she's still with them in a way, still connected with them, because she's still finding out things that are going on in real time. So, it depends how we're using it, doesn't it? Okay, so when we start thinking about time, how do we start looking at it? Well, it depends what sort of a person you are. I've heard people that I used to work with, and they had to write a time diary, just like a food diary, a time diary about exactly how long you're doing that task and how long you're doing that task. And yes, sometimes you do need to do that to really focus in on the nitty-gritty, but we're looking at a general overview at the moment and an estimation of time. So and the way I do it is, first of all, So what I've done here is I've made up a little sheet, okay, and I've managed to print it backwards so that you can have a little look. So here you've got, I'm just reading off my list where your time in the day might be spent, and then you've got two circles for pie charts. So let me just make sure I'm pointing to the right one. A second. This one here is about portions of how you would like to spend your time in the day, and then this one is about your actual time. Now obviously through your week, different days are going to give you different portions of time, so it's which bit of the week or which day is it that you want to start with. Is it the weekend, or is it your standard working day? All right, I mean, if you wanted to make it more general, you could do a week one to start with if you wanted to. This is where it's entirely up to you, because we're all individual people. We're all going to be spending our time in different ways, because we've all got different roles and responsibilities. We've all got different pressures. We all react in different ways. Our households are run totally different. So, what I'm going to show you today is a very general overview, which we can talk about in more depth at another time if you wanted to. So, what I've actually done on my list here, and unfortunately I should have perhaps typed it on this one, but I've got things on my list like work, school, college, perhaps children's sleep, parents, social media, fitness, travelling time, watching TV, going out, household chores, shopping, gardening, sports, clubs, appointments, daydreaming, listening to music, cooking, reading. It's going to be different for everyone. I've tried to include a bit of everything in that. Okay, so, and then some things are going to be sort of generally the same amounts of time, like generally how much you sleep, or generally how much time you spend at work, how much time you spend traveling to work. However, if you are self-employed, it might be slightly different. Okay, or you might be somebody who is self-employed and you've got a job as well. So this is where the variables are, hugely. So what I've done on the first one here, so the pie chart is for 24 hours, okay, because that's one day. And so that's why it's really important to put your sleep time in, your work time in, and then I've got things. So this is how you would like your week, all right. I've got sleep, which is just over a quarter, so that is perhaps 7 hours. Work, which is a little bit bigger. Then I've got walking, parents, children, hobbies, chores, social media in there. So in actual fact, I've got the chores and the social media down as quite small. But what you've got to think about is, what are you actually doing? And this is where, you've got to be really critical about how you are spending your time, analysing what you are actually doing, because you will be surprised at how the time swishes away without us really realising it. So for example, people say to me, oh, you get up so early in the morning, even at the weekends. Well, and that's the dog just opening the door. Sorry about that. Got two dogs coming now, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Well, for me, if I get up late, I feel that the time has vanished, and I wonder how people get things done if they get up so late. So for me, generally getting up early is my way of being able to do the things that I like to do, like get up, go out, get my fresh air, walk my dogs, and then start doing other things. Okay, and it might be that, I clock off a little bit earlier, or I have a little bit of downtime in the middle of the day and work later in the day. Or some people who start early, finish late in the day. It's all down to, us as individuals, how our bodies function, how it connects with the other things that are going on in our life. So then this is where the other pie chart comes in, which is what is actually happening. So you can see here, compared to the other one, that sleep is actually a larger proportion and work is actually a larger proportion. And it might be that if you're a teacher, for example, a lot of work is done at home, a lot of marking. So it might not be actual downtime that you're experiencing, because you might actually be doing your marking while you're doing a bit of telly watching or listening to the music as well. So what this person actually is cramming into their day rather, besides work and sleep, is quite a large proportion of time is about, am I pointing to the right one for everybody? Watching TV. So here, it's actually a small proportion of time doing stuff with the children, whereas on the other one, it is a larger proportion of time. So there, they've got that slightly wrong. So quite a large proportion of social media, which isn't on this one. The dogs are fighting. We've got chores, we've got shopping, we've got listening to music, we've got travelling time, we've got parents, which is less than actually what is happening. And then here we've got daydreaming or procrastination, whichever one you like to call it. Okay, shh, boys, shush. So when you've done your little pie chart, it's then about how are you going to, what is the difference? Is what you've got that, on your first pie chart about how you really want life, is that really realistic? Are you really going to be able to fit in everything that you are actually doing? All right? Because it's easy, like I said before, it's easy to forget what we're actually doing, okay, in our lives, because we are actually busier than we actually think we are. So therefore, trying to cram everything in is going to make us feel as if we're busy all of the time. But, you've got to remember that success doesn't mean to say that you have to be busy all the time, because success isn't just about money or qualifications or status in life or promotions. Success is also about, being happy. It's about being content. It's a bit about being able to spend quality time with the people that we want to spend that time with. Okay. So what I want you to do as your exercise for this week is draw yourself up a couple of pie charts. All right. Yes, I did this on the computer, but you can just draw around a cup or a saucer, or if you want it to be really elaborate, you can do it on a big sheet of paper with a dinner plate. And really, if you've got it on a larger sheet, you can actually really start thinking about and writing in what you're actually doing at work if you wanted to. Or, let's have a think about it, what you're actually doing when you're watching TV. It might actually be, like me, that I actually fall asleep when I'm watching TV. So that would increase my sleep time. Okay. And then start adding in the things that you really want in your life. Okay, so to go with this then next week, we're going to be looking at procrastination. How can I stop it? Okay, because, I hear this a lot that, people say, well, in actual fact, I spend quite a lot of time daydreaming and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to stop it. So that is what we're going to be looking at next week. So in the meantime, have a think about what you want out of your life, how you want to use your time more effectively, and have a think about what you're actually doing. And I will speak to you next week, next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, about how can I stop procrastinating. So have a great week. And before I go, thank you very much for coming online. We've got, the names have disappeared, Helen Jasper, I think it was, Helen Spilsbury, Nick's been there as well. So have a lovely evening. I think the weather's going to get better for the weekend. So enjoy the sunshine, get a healthy dose of vitamin D, get your fresh air, get your exercise in, and I will speak to you next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Have a great week. Bye bye.